Today you will have the opportunity to explore the complete history of the Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Starting with the narrative of Adam in the Garden of Eden to the accounts of the life and death of Jesus' disciples, this experience promises to transform your understanding of the divine word. By the end of this video, you will see yourself differently, with an even deeper love for God's message. Transformation will occur when you open your heart to the sacred scriptures. If you have struggled to understand the Bible, this video will provide the clarity you seek after absorbing all the knowledge that will be shared. I believe you will be enriched and enlightened by the wisdom of the scriptures. The journey through the Bible, from ancient to modern times, is a transformative voyage. From the account of the creation of the world with Adam in the Garden of Eden to the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, followed by the legacy of his disciples. This journey reveals not only a sequence of historical and foundational events, but also the ongoing essence of the relationship between God and humanity. In the Old Testament, we are introduced to the origins of faith, divine laws, and promises made by God to his people, culminating in the expectation of the Messiah. The New Testament fulfills this promise with the birth of Jesus, offering a new perspective on salvation and unconditional love. Understanding these testaments is crucial for a comprehensive understanding of Christian doctrines and the message of hope and redemption that permeates the scriptures. Each story, prophecy, and teaching contributes to a larger narrative of faith and purpose. Opening the heart to these words is not just an act of faith, but also an invitation to personal transformation and a profound understanding of God's will. The Bible in its entirety offers guidance, comfort, and an inexhaustible source of wisdom for all those who seek to understand their place in the world and their relationship with the divine. Furthermore, there is an account beyond human understanding, when the universe did not yet exist and everything was empty and silent. In this ethereal void, there was God, a being of infinite wisdom and power, whose presence transcended time and space. Before the stars were lit and the planets formed, God, in his infinite existence, decided to create. With a word, he brought into existence the heavens and the earth, shaping the cosmos with a breath of his will. Chaos gave way to order, darkness to light, and the void was filled with shimmering stars, spirals of galaxies, and countless worlds on earth. God designed oceans and continents, mountains and valleys, forests and deserts, each with a unique beauty and divine purpose. And at the pinnacle of his creation, God formed man, molding Adam from the dust of the earth and breathing into him the breath of life. Not wanting Adam to be alone, he created Eve, his companion, taken from one of his ribs, symbolizing unity and equality. Together in the Garden of Eden, they lived in perfect harmony with creation, reflecting the image and likeness of their Creator. This is the story of a beginning, a story of love, purpose, and hope, woven by God himself in ancient times. In Eden, a garden of unparalleled beauty, Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony. God created them in his image and granted them everything except for a command not to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. However, the serpent, the craftiest of creatures, tempted Eve with deceitful words. "You will not surely die," he whispered, "for God knows that when you eat of it your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Persuaded, Eve chose the forbidden fruit, tasted it, and offered it to Adam, who without hesitation also ate it. Immediately, their innocence was revealed. They saw themselves naked and covered themselves with leaves. At dusk, when God walked in the garden, Adam and Eve, overcome by fear, hid from him. Already aware of what had happened, God confronted them and, with sin, came punishment. Adam was condemned to a life of hard work and Eve to the pains of childbirth. Banished from Eden, they lost direct communion with God. This event marked not only the fate of Adam and Eve but of all humanity, inaugurating an era of suffering, death, and estrangement from God, a legacy that would extend through all generations. Once upon a time, in a young and paradisiacal world, two brothers, Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve, grew up learning the ways of nature and life under the shadow of the lost Eden. Cain, the eldest, was a farmer who worked the land, while Abel, the youngest, was a shepherd. The time came for the brothers to offer sacrifices to God. Abel offered the best of his flock, spotless lambs, and Cain presented the fruits of his labor, products of the earth. God looked favorably upon Abel's sacrifice but not upon Cain's, who became inflamed with jealousy and anger. God, in his mercy, warned Cain, saying to him, "If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it." However, consumed by envy, Cain could not contain his rage. On a dark day, he lured Abel into the field and, in an act of anger and jealousy, took his brother's life. This heinous act marked humanity's first murder, sealing Cain's fate with a mark of disgrace and condemnation, destined to wander eternally. The story of Cain and Abel serves as a dark reminder of humanity's capacity for evil and the consequences of letting envy and anger rule the heart. The earth was filled with wicked men, involved in acts of corruption and violence that covered the world like a dark shadow. Seeing the depravity of humanity, God decided to purify the earth with a great flood. But there was a righteous man, Noah, who walked with God. Amid the corruption surrounding him, God chose Noah for an extraordinary purpose. He instructed Noah to build a gigantic ark, a refuge to save his family and a pair of every animal species. With unwavering faith, Noah obeyed even in the face of mockery from his contemporaries. He worked tirelessly, using tools to prepare the ark for the approaching flood. Finally, the clouds gathered and the first drops of rain fell, marking the beginning of the impending flood. Noah, his family, and the animals entered the ark as the waters of the sky and earth mingled, covering everything for 40 days and 40 nights. The ark sailed on turbulent waters as a solitary symbol of hope in a submerged world. Noah, the builder of the ark, became a beacon of faith and obedience, guiding humanity to a new beginning after the flood, which purified the world's evil. The ark rested in the mountains of Ararat when the waters receded, marking the beginning of a new era for humanity. Noah and his family emerged from the ark, chosen to repopulate the earth and rebuild their lives. Families grew, each spreading their own cultures and traditions, originating different nations and peoples who shared a common lineage and the memory of the Great Flood. Abraham, a man of deep faith, lived in Ur of the Chaldeans. His life changed dramatically when God instructed him to leave his land, his family, and his home in exchange for a great promise to make him a great nation and bless all the peoples of the earth through his descendants. Abraham, already old and childless, believed in God's promise and set out with his wife Sarah and his nephew Lot. His journey was marked by challenges, but his faith remained unshakable. God renewed his promise to Abraham, who would become the father of a great nation as numerous as the stars in the sky. Against all odds, Sarah gave birth to Isaac, the son of promise. The story of Abraham and his unwavering faith became an example of trust in the Creator and divine obedience. Abraham and Sarah faced the pain of infertility as they awaited the fulfillment of God's promise. In an attempt to resolve this issue, Sarah offered her maidservant Hagar to Abraham, resulting in the birth of Ishmael. However, God still had plans for Sarah, who miraculously conceived and gave birth to Isaac, the son of promise. Ishmael and Isaac, sons of different mothers, represented distinct lineages, each with its own destiny. Ishmael became the ancestor of the nomadic peoples of the desert, known as the Arabs, while Isaac, married to Rebekah, gave rise to the 12 tribes of Israel, thus fulfilling the divine promises of multiplication and blessing. These stories are intertwined with promises and divine interventions, highlighting the fundamental role of faith and obedience in the narrative of humanity as revealed in the scriptures. Jacob came into the world clutching the heel of Esau, quietly favored by Rebekah, the divine, promising, however, to opt for an unexpected path. One day, Esau, exhausted from hunting, traded his birthright for a bowl of lentils, prepared by Jacob. This exchange symbolized more than a meal, it was the transfer of a blessing. Years later, Rebekah, aware of the divine promise over Jacob, helped him receive Isaac's final blessing. Jacob, disguised as Esau, deceived Isaac and obtained the blessing intended for the firstborn. Esau, upon discovering the deception, became furious, and Jacob fled to the land of his relatives. Jacob's life was marked by struggles and transformations. Eventually, he reconciled with Esau, and both fulfilled their destinies within the divine plan. Jacob was renamed Israel and became the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, continuing the promise made to Abraham in a narrative filled with twists and redemption. Joseph, Jacob's beloved son, emerged as the center of a divine plan larger.